Alright guys, welcome to another video of my series. So we're going to further talk about Maya and its basics. So for right now, we're going to talk about component and object mode. So basically, we have two modes in Maya. Both are very helpful in general and can be switched back and forth by using the function 8 key. You can find all the function keys on your keyboard. At the very top, they'll say F1 and numbered all the way down to F12 at the very top. So for this one, we're going to use F8 or the function 8 key and switch back between modes in Maya. So if we do that, hit F8, we go into component mode, and notice how it's blue. And if we switch back, it'll go to green, which is object mode. Okay, so you're wondering, well, what's the difference? Why should I even care? You know, woohoo. It didn't do very much at all. Okay, so object mode is if basically when it's green, you can select, translate, let's say you had another duplicate underneath there, basically you're just moving the object in general. Okay, now F8, you can do editing of its overall geometry. If you need to do some detailing, if you need to select an actual component inside, such as a face, a vertex, or an edge. And you can right click over the object and you'll get kind of like a panel, and you can select what type of component you need to select. Now, right clicking and just selecting edge is not going to select the edge you want in general. You have to go highlight it and click on the edge itself. You'll know which one you have selected when you put your mouse cursor over the component, and it highlights as red for edge and as well as for vertex. Now for face, it kind of goes into like a red outline, and you know which ones you have selected when it turns kind of like an orange colorish. So that's for component and object mode, and that's kind of the reasons why we need both. Sometimes just moving or scaling an object in whole isn't enough. Sometimes we need to give it some detail, and it's kind of general. This won't take care of other ways of detailing an object. We'll go into that later, but that is component and object mode. Basic kind of explanation for now. So next, I did kind of promise we're going to go over duplication. Duplication is kind of handy. As you can see, we have both the same object duplicated once. But let's just kind of backtrack. We'll delete that by hitting the delete key on our keyboard, and that one is gone. So let's just say we're back to square one. Now we can use duplication by going to your edit menu and selecting all the way down duplicate. That can be kind of cumbersome. If you need 20 of these, you have to go back and forth. That's going to take a while. Or we can use, yet again, one of our keystrokes, which would be holding down the control key, which is also abbreviated as CTRL usually. Hold that down and hit the D key. And what that'll do is basically give us duplication. It's the exact same object. It's pretty much identical. There shouldn't be anything too much different. It's basically, I think, in computer programming, a instantiation, I think, in theory. So now just keep in mind, more objects you have in your scene, more memory it's going to take. So just be careful when you're getting into those high details, like if you're going to have, tile or a bunch of balls for your ball pit. If you're going to have a ball pit for your scene, like a Chuck E. Cheese or like a pizza parlor, kid playground thing. So that could be a lot of detailing. So just keep in mind, more objects means more memory usage. Now there is another type of duplication that we have, and it is called duplicate special. Now if we wanted to kind of back out of our scene, we can kind of further explain that. Let's say we need to have this object separated by the other by, like, say 7 spaces here on the grid. Okay, or we needed to rotate, but for now we're just going to have them kind of spaced out. Now you can find duplicate special in the edit menu and select your options box. And as you can see, we already had used this before, but it's based on translates, rotates, scales. And so when you hit duplicate special, it'll take into account your settings inside here. And what we can do with this is that we can separate the object repeated number of times for the amount of copies we basically determine here on the slider bar, or you can actually just type it in. So X, Y, and Z are going to be your axes, and what we can do for this is we're going to use the Z axis. Now the colors for your axes are generally pretty standard because we have Z highlighted. It's going to be yellow, so just know that Z is blue. Red is X axis, and Y is green. So just know that which one you have selected, your last select, I should say, will be highlighted in yellow. So don't get confused. So we hit duplicate special. We have a number of copies 3, and we are going to separate this by 7 units. So we put 7.0, and we hit duplicate special. Boom. It made 3 more copies. They're all evenly spaced out by 7 units on the Z-axis, and that is duplicate special. Now, let's just say we don't want to go through all that. We know in our heart that basically we have our settings locked in. You can use the keystroke that we had here, which is Control Shift D. So if you hold on the keyboard while in the viewport, Control Shift D, it'll do it again, and you can keep doing it over and over again until your heart's content or Maya crashes because of memory usage. It's up to you. Anyways, that's what we have going on today, and we'll further explain other keystrokes and other functions. I think next video we're going to go into extrusions, and we'll go from there. Thank you for watching. Bye.